Hey, it's great to see you again. Welcome to another episode of Martin's Monday Pedal Playthrough. If you've not caught any of the 30 or so episodes that have been before this, what we do here is we take a pedal, we play through it with a couple of familiar sounding guitars and just have a listen to what kind of sounds you can get out of it. It's not a review per se, it's not a demo per se, it's just exploring the tones available in one of the many pedals in my collection. While you're here, make sure you click that thumbs up icon down below. That's very much appreciated. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We're trying to build a really cool community here. And comment down below if you tried this pedal and if you have any other thoughts whatsoever. Right, let's get right on with it. So this week, in what will probably be the last Martin's Monday pedal playthrough for a little while, we're having a break over summer at least, we're looking at this Strymon Timeline, which is a very much more complicated pedal than anything other than the Mobius that we've looked at so far. And I've used this pedal for quite a number of years, to varying degrees, but in recent years I've favoured a more simple type of delay pedal. So it hasn't seen a lot of playing recently, so I might be a little rusty on some of the details. It is so deep that I'm never going to be able to do a full demo of it, and that's never the goal of these videos anyway. So what I'm just going to do is going to explore the first few presets, which take you through the 12 different delay engines, and just kind of cover some of the features that are there. The knobs in this light are quite hard to read, but there is a value knob which you can also press to adjust to get into some submenus. There is a time control, but it has a tap tempo button anyway. Repeats controls the number of repeats. Mix controls the mix of delay and dry signal. What these are set to at the moment doesn't have any bearing on what the sound is at the moment. They only sort of start to kick in as you turn them. Then we have a filter control, a grit control which adds some dirt to your signal, and speed and depth for the modulation of the delay sounds. And we've got this rotary knob which selects between 12 different delay engines. We have an A and a B switch for each bank, and then a tap switch, as I say, and then to change between banks you just press two buttons at once. So to bank down you press the left two, and to bank up you press the right two. This is one of the greatest uses I've found for these barefoot buttons, because the switches are a little bit far apart, so you stand a much better chance of hitting two of them with one foot with these on, because you can kind of just get in between and hit both pedals. But I've reset this to factory settings. We're just going to start on bank 0 patch 1, which is just called Mellow. I thought it scrolled, but it appears not to be. So this is just a digital delay setting. If I wanted to change the speed of it, let's 1, 2, If I wanted less repeats, I could turn the repeats knob down. The LED turns orange to indicate it's not the save position. So that's only basically 1 and a little bit. I don't know how easy this is to see. At this point it's gone green, which tells me it's the save position. And then it'll go orange again as I turn it past. And you can adjust all the parameters at will. It's true stereo in, stereo out, or you can set an effect in a kind of mono effects loop within the pedal itself. There is an expression input for plugging in an extra foot switch or an expression pedal, and it has MIDI in and out as well, which can be used for a whole variety of functions, including controlling the built-in looper mode without having to go in and come out of the delay settings. You can hold down the tap button and that takes you into looper mode. But yeah, let's not go too deeply into this. This is called Sweet something. This is a dual delay. So we've got a real slapback sound and a very distinct delay at the same time. So to get to bank 1, I'm going to press down the 2 buttons together and I'm now in bank 1. Select, it doesn't change the bank until you select the preset. So this is now Melt Away or something. I don't know why it's not scrolling, but this is the ice delay. So this is a delay with a pitch shift built in, which appears to be about a fifth above the note you play. Interesting, useful in some musical contexts more than others perhaps. With the mix knob turned lower, it definitely kind of just adds a bit of depth and harmonic interest. With the mix knob turned high, it'll get quite weird. Very odd, very odd. Particularly, yeah, with it only hearing the wet sound. Then we have a bit closer, which is a lo-fi delay. Like that. It's a little bit noisy, it's a little bit kind of you can set it quite subtle and it just kind of adds a lot of dirt to your delay, but it sits in the background as a result. Okay, bank 2. So we're in a filter delay now. Now, for some people, they would see absolutely no use in that at all. For others, it's probably about turning wheels in your head, thinking, "Oh, I've got a really cool use for that." So it just shows that there's so many different things on offer on a pedal like this. Not everything is going to suit everyone. I think usually when I've been using this, I've used like 4 different delay sounds on it, and that's been it. Reverse is always weird. At the moment I've not got, you can turn spillover on or off, which means if spillover is on when you turn off the effect, it will carry on just repeating what it's already repeated. I assume it's turned off by default. Reverse is particularly weird when you set it to 100% wet, because you don't actually hear what you're playing, you hear what you're playing in reverse. Let's just give that a go just because it's always funny. Possibly the only time you can play Sweet Child of Mine intro on a YouTube video without getting it blocked. Right, I'm going to switch across to the Telly now for the next 3 banks, just so we can hear how it responds to a different guitar. So this sound uses a pattern delay. It's a panned delay, so some repeats come out of one side, some repeats come out of the other. Obviously, if you're using it in mono, you won't get that, but... That kind of sound maybe set a little bit more subtly, but I love that kind of thing. That's one of the reasons I always love using 2 amps, is just the width that you can get with just something simple like that. Or even just a different reverb on each amp or whatever. Next up then we've got this Wowie something, which is a tape delay style delay. So you can hear it degrading on every repeat. Now, as is often the case on a lot of digital devices with presets, a lot of them are kind of there to show what the unit can do. And this is maybe, a little bit much for a lot of people, but you can tweak it very easily and then just save it over the top or in another location. So always something to bear in mind. Yeah, if you say, oh, this would be really nice if it was more subtle, that's quite easy to do. Bank 4 then, this is giving us a D bucket, which is a kind of, I guess, an analog style delay. It's a very short delay with lots of repeats. Let's slow that down a bit. Maybe pull the repeats back. That to me is instantly more useful, and all I've done is just pulled down the repeats a little bit and lengthened the delay time. Very simple to do. So even though it seems complicated and you can get really deep on this, there are some basic controls that just enable you to tweak what you want. Okay, we've got smear. This is a swell delay, which suggests it'll be something that brings in the signal as we play. Yeah, lovely for those kind of ambient, kind of washy soundscape things. If you want to get your Brian Eno on, or the Edge on a more mellow moment, that is really cool. Just something the way you use the guitar, almost like a pad. And again, you can tweak it to your heart's content. There's so many options on this. Okay, this is now a tremolo delay. Now you'll hear that the tremolo only exists on the repeats in the signal. It's not a tremolo pedal or anything that's included in this. So if you hold a sustained chord, you get the repeat, the echo with the tremolo effect on, so it's more subtle. and if you break off that, then you just hear the repeats, then it's more noticeable, which is pretty cool, quite a dynamic effect. And then if you play really short stuff, you can never be quite sure whether the repeat will be on the up of the tremolo or the down, so you can get some things where stuff kind of disappears a little bit. So all sorts of uses from the mundane to the more extreme there. Finally, let's look at this Dynamo, which is a ducking delay. So it'll be based on the TC2290 dynamic delay setting, I would think. What this will do is basically when you're playing, the delay won't be as loud, and then when you stop playing, the delay should swell up. To my mind, that needs less repeats, otherwise it gets very confusing. That kind of effect always just reminds me of like the end of a big solo where you can be playing really, really fast and you're not hearing a lot of delay, but then you hit that one last note and the delay just comes up and swells and kind of fills the room. That's pretty cool. So we've only looked at 12 presets on this. There are so many different sounds available, but we've looked at one of each of the different effects engines. Yeah, it's a really versatile pedal. So many boards, this has been on for so many years. Definitely an interesting option if you want kind of a next level delay. There are so many other options now. I think the first one was the Eventide Time Factor that did this kind of a million delays in one box. But these days there are so many other options. But there's something just classic about the timeline, which I think is why so many people continue to use it. Too much for me, give me a basic analog delay and I'm generally happy, but it's pretty cool. So thanks once again for watching Martin's Monday pedal playthrough. Come back next week for another pedal exploration. Until then, if you've not clicked the thumbs up icon, please do. Subscribe if you're not already. Comment down below. I'll see you next week. Take care.